What's up, 2B bunnies? It's Monday. Back from spring break. I know a lot of you were traveling last week, having a great time, spending time with family, and I hope, my greatest desire is that on your vacation, whether you were on a staycation or away, that you were just living the lifestyle, that you were doing water first and veggies most and living kind of that plated philosophy naturally, right? We don't have to think about this. This is the freedom. But what if you are lacking a little bit of motivation? What if maybe you were doing great for a month, or you were doing great for a handful of weeks, or maybe you started off with a bang last year and this year has just thrown you some curveballs? We've all been there. So I want to talk about motivation today. Now, some of you joined the 2B Mindset and you had a big goal in play. Maybe you had a wedding that you were getting ready for, or a big trip that you were getting ready for, or maybe the doctor gave you some news that it was like, you got to lose weight and get these numbers down or something bad's going to happen. And that was enough to scare you into action. Without those factors in play, all of us will go through periods where we don't feel motivated, right? Our natural desire, I hate to call myself lazy, but really that's what it is. It's I don't really want to do this. I don't really want to put the work in. But here's where you can change your mindset about motivation. Is that motivation is an inside job. Motivation comes from taking that first step. So here's what I would say to you. If you are listening to this and you're like, I hear you, Steph, like whatever, but it's not going to change anything. I'm going to ask you to give me one day, just one day of, so maybe that day is tomorrow. So tomorrow you're going to start off and you're going to do water first. You're going to make sure to drink 3 big bottles of water, and you're going to do veggies most. You're going to maybe even find some things tonight at the grocery store that you have never tried, and you might prepare them in a different way. And you're going to do those 2 things. And I guarantee you that you will see results. Results motivate us, right? It's that little cart before the horse, chicken before the egg. Motivation doesn't always come before the action, but the action and getting the result from the action will always lead to more motivation. So imagine if you just did those 2 things tomorrow and you lost half a pound on the scale. I know it's not about the scale, but that gives you that confidence that, oh yeah, this works. I forgot. This is actually fun. Okay? So that's your tip number 1 for getting motivated, is to spend one day. And this is not doubling down. You don't even have to track tomorrow. If you've been so kind of off the program that you haven't done anything, that's okay. Just do those 2 things, water and veggies, and then get back on the tracking pattern, okay? Because tracking really yields so much great data that we can use to our advantage. Like I said, we've all been there. So the second tip I would have for you is, maybe you're bored with what veggies you're eating. Maybe you came into this thinking, I love cucumbers and I love carrots, and now you're like, I am cucumbered and carroted out. I hear you. We all go through that. Here's the fun part. Do you know when you go to your favorite restaurant and they prepare something, let's say it's Brussels sprouts, and you're like, oh, I cannot wait. It is like a treat to eat Brussels sprouts with bacon and balsamic vinegar, and it's amazing, right? Like, you look forward to that. Imagine if on a daily basis you looked forward to veggies in that way in your home, or when you go to work and you've packed your lunch. Imagine that. I want you to shift your mindset in making veggies the reward. Veggies are the treat, not the other way around. It's not a pain to eat vegetables. Y'all, it's amazing to eat really cool things that you've not tried before or in a different preparation. So I want you to go to our Pinterest page, and I'll link these down below. Go to our Pinterest page, go to the Beachbody blog and look up 2B Mindset veggie recipes. Let's say that even you've tried the cabbage steak recipe from the 2B Mindset recipe guide. I want you then to go Google cabbage steak, find a different recipe. I want you to look up new salad dressings. I want you to look up ways to enhance what you're already doing. There's a website called Skinny Taste. That's a great website. She's actually, let's see, what's her name? I wrote it down. Lisa Lillian. She's written a couple of cookbooks. You could order those or go online and find those recipes. That kind of stuff will keep things super exciting for you. I heard about a recipe today that was 3 cheese spaghetti squash, and I was like, that sounds amazing. Who wouldn't want to try that? My kids would want to try that. So veggies can never feel like a chore. We want to switch our mindset and make veggies feel like a treat, okay? And then the last thing I would say, the last tip that I would have for you is that I want you to be thinking about if you've lost weight and maybe you've put some back on, I want you to think about you did it once, you're going to do it again. And I want you to think about the freedoms you have when you get to your goal, not when you get to your goal, on the journey to your goal. I want you to think about, and I'll use myself as an example. 5 pounds for me makes a huge difference. An extra 5 pounds is pressure on my back, pressure on my joints, pressure on my spine that I just can't afford. So moderating and having that freedom in that is amazing. Feeling great in that space is amazing. I can tell you when that starts to vary. Someone shared with me that they have about 70 pounds to lose. Well, that goal is going to be fantastic. Think about this. Think about the summer. Summer's coming up, shorts weather, bathing suit weather, running around with the kids, doing things outside, being more active. I know I love to go, like the zoo has a treetop quest. We love to do that with the kids. Think about how much more active and engaging and fluid your body becomes when you don't have the excess weight that you're carrying. That's what you want to think about. You don't want to necessarily get hung up on the number and the scale. You want to be thinking about that freedom that you will feel in your body during the summer, okay? Not from a vain perspective. Sometimes that's a good motivator, but really from a freedom perspective. And then we're going to gauge that 2 pounds at a time. That's what really matters. So I don't want you to say ever that I've only lost 5 pounds or I've only lost 10 pounds or I've only... You all are amazing. You have lost that much weight. That is fantastic. That means you can do it again. And then those weight loss days, again, become more like a treat. Weight loss becomes this thing that we look forward to. Weight loss becomes something that we're not fearing. It's not that we're dreading it, because that's our old mindset. Our new mindset is this feeling of freedom. This freedom of who we get to be in that new situation, right? So think forward into the summer. If you associate weight loss with pleasure, that it's fun, right? We just talked about getting motivated by taking action. We talked about trying new veggie recipes. We talked about looking forward to the summer and like how we're gonna feel around our friends and family. That's all pleasurable. If you take agreement to that, your mind is like, heck yeah, let's do this. You will consistently make different choices. I promise you that. So all that to say, motivation doesn't have to be complicated. You don't necessarily have to do a ton of personal development videos. You just have to take some action. So I want you to use these steps. I want you to take action tomorrow. If you haven't taken action in months, take action tomorrow. I want you to take action, and I want you to report back what it feels like to have taken some action and what success you see, what results you see. I want you to think about new veggie recipes. So I'm going to post the Pinterest below and the Beachbody blog below, but I want you to think about what things are you loving. Post them down below. We get to share and learn that way. And then I want you to think about how you can make weight loss pleasurable, how it can be. You know, the old us wants to say, while I'm preparing dinner for my family, I've got to eat something different. No, the new me says I get to change the legacy of my family through my journey with 2B Mindset. And as a bonus, as gravy, the weight keeps coming off. Sidebar, we went to California last week for a vacation, spent, well, almost a week out there. I didn't control any of the food. We didn't stay in a house. We stayed in a hotel, so we ate out constantly. But I made veggies first choices. There were lots of cocktails, but I drank a ton of water. And guess what? All said and done, I lost 1 pound on vacation last week, which is like crazy, mind-blowing. That never would have happened. But I stayed positive. I knew I was in an area where I was enjoying being outside with my family. We did a lot of really cool activities. And there you have it. It's a lifestyle. It was pleasurable. So I want to get you guys... Let's be motivated together. Let's encourage each other, cheer each other on in this group. That's the other powerful thing. We do better as humans when we're together and lifting each other up. High tides rise all boats. So let's celebrate that. Y'all have a great Monday.